I was confused, I was crying a lot. They told me that my mum died and, at first she didn't want me and she brought me here and that she passed away.
So your grandparents told you that your mum was dead?
Yeah.
This story begins 2 decades ago in Kenya. Imagine 4 children aged between 8 years and 6 months. They're in a hotel room with their mother waiting to travel to America. Their estranged father's family is there helping them pack. Their mother leaves to buy clothes and when she returns, her kids are gone. Now imagine 2 taxis. 2 of the children are in one, the other 2 are in the other. They take off in different directions.
Me and my younger brother were in one taxi and then my older sister and my younger sister, we all just separated and we just went 2 by 2. Every day I ask about it and the more they tell me she's dead, she's gone, I knew that I had to stop and act like I believed it, and it got to a point where I somehow did.
So how did you end up reuniting with your mother?
So basically the UN and the police were all involved, but where I was standing, it was more like it was nighttime and it was bonfire and I was sitting there and I could just see a woman walk towards us, and I stood up because I could just, it was weird, I had this vibe where I was like, whoa, I know this person, like I know this person. She came and she sat across me and I just ran and just hugged her and I was just crying. I was like, don't leave me, I know you're my mom. And yeah, it was very emotional. Like I could never forget that night ever in my life.
So when you first came to Australia, it was you, your mother and your brother,
yeah.
And you had come from a refugee camp in Kenya,
yeah.
Right? So where did you land when you came to Australia?
Tasmania.
Tassie?
Yep, Tassie. Tassie, yep. It's funny because you come from Africa and you come to Tassie and you're like, oh my God.
Yeah, I imagine it'd be quite different.
It was crazy because my mum was so scared because we haven't seen skin colour people ever. So me and mum were just looking at each other like, what is going on here? My little brother wouldn't talk. I was like, I'm not talking to anyone.
Tasmanians freaked you out, is this what you're telling me?
Yeah, it did actually, really. The coldness really freaked me out. And then we saw a lot of people at the airport and we're like, wow, there's white people here. But yeah, after that we kind of got used to it. So yeah.
Ayan and her brother were taken to live with their paternal grandfather and his wife. Their sisters were taken to live with their paternal grandmother and her husband.
You've still got that other taxi, you've still got your 2 sisters who they're not with you, they're missing. So how did you end up reuniting with them?
We had to do some fundraising, we had to do some, a lot of savings just to pay off basically our sisters.
And who are you paying?
The grandparents.
So your mother had to pay your grandparents, your dad's parents, money to retrieve her daughters back?
Yep.
Okay.
After 8 years.
After 8 years?
After 8 years, yeah. And March the 1st, 2007 is when I first met my sisters at the airport at 3:45 a.m. I remember all. Yeah, you can never forget that.
God, you've got it pinpointed down to the moment.
Yep. Me and my brothers were so nervous because we're like, oh my God, my younger sister was 6 months. My older sister was 8, so I don't remember how they look like. I've never seen my mum so happy. I've never experienced it. It was overwhelming for everybody. So overwhelming. But I don't know, every time I think about it, I just get so teared up because it's just like, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How was it like in the kind of coming weeks and months?
It was so different for them. It was they were fascinated with so many things. So basically, Mum watches sunrise. Every morning she wakes up.
Nothing wrong with that?
Nothing, no.
She should be watching SBS, but that's all right.
Listen, I think she should, whatever fancies her vote. So basically me, her and Fasal were in the lounge room and we were watching TV. And Nulqaida wakes up and she was like, what? She just stood there. She was like looking at the TV, it's like, what? And she just touches it. She says it in my mum's, she tells my mum in her language, like, what is this? Why are there people inside this box, she's like, why? And then she goes, so much colours and everything. And then Mum goes, yeah, it's called a TV, She goes, but she looks at the back of the TV to see if there's other people at the back of the TV. She goes, there's nothing there. Me and my older sister kinda knew that we've been through a lot, and we're here now. We understood that, but we couldn't speak the same language.
So how were you communicating?
Mum was the translator.
So your sister would say something in Ethiopian to your mum, who translate it back to English.
Yep.
And then you might say something in Somali to your mum, who translate it back to Ethiopian.
Yep.
Okay.
Basically, yeah. Hectic house.
Yeah.
So we had like a jar, like in the middle of the house, like on the table, and would put like any money or any coins we find just for Mum to translate for us, because she gets so tired.
Oh, you'd have to pay her?
Yeah.
I'm done.
If you could go back in time, is there anything that you would change?
Whew. Yeah and no. I don't know, like I would change the separation part, because I don't want anybody, I would never wish it upon my enemies ever. It's been like 10 years since I've actually spoke about it to anybody. Like, I'm sure most of my friends are going to be surprised when they hear this, because they have no clue. Like, I don't talk about it. It's too painful for anybody else to hear it, because it's like, whoa, and I would never. So yeah, I would change it. I would have changed it. But I would not change the way it got us together when it comes to family, that we have each other's back.
Well, thank you so much for talking about it.
Thank you for having me.
I'm sure there'll be people who'll be fascinated to hear it.
Yeah.
It's lovely to meet you.
You too, lovely.
Cheers.